Good night, everybody, and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, the magnificent one, Yori Armenkamp from Nassau, Bahamas. And I'll be your only host tonight. Kimberly isn't feeling well. She's in hospital, actually. So she gives you her best as she tries to battle through her issues. So, yeah, it's just going to be me one tonight. We're not going to have a really long show tonight. There's a few things we're going to talk about, but I thank you all for joining us. And please, if you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on our Facebook and YouTube page. And also, there's a link in the description. Okay, there's a donate link in the description that you could actually donate to the show. So it's an open link, and you could just donate anything that you feel that the LimeVibe Live podcast is worth. Okay, we accept all donations in cash and of all currencies. So please donate to the LimeVibe Live podcast. Really helps us to get the message out there and keep the machine going. And thank you so much for tuning in tonight again. So like I said, just going to meet me on tonight. Kim isn't here. So we're just going to see how the show rolls tonight. But let's start off with this. I guess you guys have probably heard, especially the Jamaicans have heard, that Sha'Carri Richardson has blown out Sharika Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price in the World Athletic Championships in 100 meters in Budapest, Hungary today. Yeah, she ran a 10.65, beating out Sharika Jackson, who ran a 10 point. Where did Jackson run? Sorry, I'm looking at the story right here. I missed it. Shelly, Richardson ran 10.65, and she beat Shelly Ann Fraser-Price's record by 2 seconds, 0.2 seconds. The World Championship record by 0.2 seconds. Sharika Jackson finished second with a time of 10.72, and Fraser-Price finished third, crossing the line at 10.77. So Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, a long-time spring champion from Jamaica, she's getting a little slower now. Now Sha'Carri Richardson, is coming up now, and she's come back in fine form after Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and the other Jamaican ladies had beat her to a crisp over the last several years after she was caught out with marijuana. And now she came back and she's stronger than ever. I hope she put down the marijuana for good, actually. And so this is the kind of competition that we need. We need stiff competition, you know. And it's Elaine Thompson-Herah didn't run this year. It was just Sharika Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. And that's 1, 2, 3. Sha'Carri Richardson first, then Sharika Jackson second, and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price was third. Okay, it was a good heat. It was a very fast heat. I'm very proud of Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm confusing her with Sharika Jackson because the names are similar. It's Sha'Carri Richardson and Sharika Jackson. Those are 1 and 2 for World Championships. Okay, and I just want to say congrats to the Jamaican ladies as well. They always place. They always run a good heat. They always run a good race. And Jamaicans can still feel proud that they're still at the top of the sprinting world, even though their ladies came second and third, respectively. Okay, so big shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson for bouncing back. And that's the kind of redemption kind of stories that we like. You know, we like to see people bounce back from adversity and come back stronger than ever. And she said, though, this is her quote: "I'm not back, I'm better." You know, I'm not back, but I'm better. And that's her quote coming after the win at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. So yeah, big ups to Sha'Carri Richardson, man. I bet Americans are very, very proud. But now let's see what they're going to do at the Olympics next year. Can they actually repeat it? Let's see if Elaine Thompson-Herah is going to come back, and let's see if Sharika Jackson is going to post a faster time. And Sharika Jackson is getting on better, isn't she? I remember when she was the third person on that Jamaican trio. It was Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, then Elaine Thompson-Herah, and then it was Sharika Jackson. It's almost like she was a newbie that's popped up in the scene. But now she's beating out Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and Elaine Thompson-Herah. You know, so we'll see what happens at the Olympics next year. Let's see if Sharika Jackson can keep this up. You know, I was kind of shocked when she just burst onto the scene. It was about 2 or 3 years ago, and now she's been maintained. She's gotten a lot better. To play second over Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, that's good, man. That's very good. And I just want to give them all the praise that they deserve for their hard work and dedication. People don't realize how hard it is and how much work they have to put in to be these top-tier athletes, you know, from a tiny island in the Caribbean, from Jamaica. They've put in a lot of work to become top sprinters in the world. And we just have to give them their credit when the credit is due, you know. So big up to Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and big up to Sharika Jackson. Also Elaine Thompson-Herah as well, the former Olympic champion, well, the current Olympic champion. So yeah, big up to all those ladies right there. But yeah, I guess Sha'Carri Richardson could now she could hold her head up in pride now. So those so Shelly Ann Fraser Price doesn't have the snicker behind her back anymore, right? Right now, Sha'Carri came back from her doping scandal, from a marijuana scandal, and she ran her first week. She was blown out of the water by those three Jamaican ladies, Elaine Thompson Harris, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and Sharika Jackson. She was blown out of the water, and you know they were laughing at her how she came up with all this bluff, this tough talk, and she's going to do this, that, and the third on the 100 meters, and she's going to beat those girls to a crisp. And come to find out, she was just blown away in her first competition back a few years back, but now she's back on top. So big ups to Sha'Carri Richardson, man. You should see the race. I should play the race. No, I'm not going to play the race tonight. You just go and search YouTube, World Athletics Championships 2023, Budapest, Hungary, 100-meter finals women, and you will see the race. It's a fantastic race. And Sha'Carri Richardson ran lane 9, actually. She ran in the slow lane. She played, that means she played slow in the heats. Usually the top sprinters, they put in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position right in the middle. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th lanes right in the middle. But she ran the 9th lane, so that means she didn't run a particularly fast heat. So that means, you know, Sha'Carri, Sharika Jackson, and Shelly Ann Fraser Price, they blew their stack in the heats, and they didn't have enough to finish off in the finals. So I guess the finals is where it's all at. So I guess that's good race placement by Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, to come out and to save some of her best work for the 100-meter finals and women's 100-meter finals in this World Championship, World Athletics Championships. So yeah, so big up to Sha'Carri Richardson once again. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. That's a good race. So what are we going to have else? Apparently, there's a new hurricane, a tropical storm forming in the southeastern Caribbean. It's called Tropical Storm Franklin. That could turn to a hurricane, and it's traveling due northeast. So it formed yesterday. That's Sunday. It formed yesterday. Okay, and they say it may hit the Dominican Republic and the island of Hispaniola by Tuesday. Okay, that's tomorrow. So it's traveling very quickly. It's off the southern coast of it's off the southern coast of the Dominican Republic right now and Puerto Rico. It's on the inside of the Les Antilles, so that means it's not going to hit Barbados and the rest of those islands from the outer bands there. And so it's right above Colombia. Okay, so it's right in that same center Caribbean Sea right there, and it's traveling due northeast, and it's going to probably form. It's probably going to hit the Dominican Republic by Tuesday as a tropical storm Franklin. So just going to be on the lookout for that. And hopefully it doesn't turn into a hurricane right over the Dominican Republic. Hopefully that does not happen. But we just got to keep our eyes open for it. And God knows Haiti doesn't need the problems either, right? You know, Haiti's still in an uproar. Haiti's still in turmoil. And so they can't possibly deal with a hurricane this time. But if that's what God has for it, that's what God has for it, you know. And let's hope that we pray for the island. I pray that that storm passes by the Dominican Republic, but it's most likely it's going to go right up to the Dominican Republic. That's where all the forecasts are saying. So we just want to pray for the Dominican Republic right now. Hopefully that God spares much of their people during this time. It's not expected to hit any other island in the Caribbean except for the Dominican Republic. And it's trending up. It's going like a cone. It's going up and it's sloping upwards, and then it's tailing back to the northeast. And the Dominican Republic is going to get all of it from what I see. So yeah, we just want to pray for those countries right in that band right there. Puerto Rico is going to get some of it as well. Yeah, and we just got to pray that no one's hurt during this time. You know, and this is the time right now between September. We're going into September now. September going into November is the high peak season for hurricanes. It's the high time for hurricanes right now. This is the peak season for hurricanes. Most of the hurricanes happen around this time between September and November, mid-November. And once you get past mid-November, everything is like pretty quiet. There are hardly any hurricanes that form around that time. But it's between September and mid-November. That's when most of the hurricanes form in the Caribbean. So we just want to keep everyone in our prayers. And hopefully we get no major hurricanes anywhere else in the Caribbean. That this tropical storm, Franklin, just remains as a weak tropical storm and maintains at its weak state as the way it is right now. So we just want to keep our eyes out for that. Okay, that's tropical storm Franklin out the way. Oh my goodness, yeah. But isn't it funny that these well the forecasters predicted this, you know, that these tropical storms are going to form more and more frequently. This is the second major hurricane for the Caribbean this season. And usually they start really by, like I said, between September and November. But this is the second major storm that we've had. So we've had two, and the first one, I forgot what the first one's name was. Let me go back and do my Googles. Thank God for Google right here. Hurricane Caribbean 2023. See what we got here. What have we got here? Let's go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia never lies to you, right? Yeah, the earliest star was Hurricane. No, sorry. That's the wrong information there. Blah, 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 blah. Help me out. Let me do a quick scan. It says here, I don't even remember Hurricane Arlene. Tropical Storm Arlene. Sorry, no. Tropical Storm Arlene, and it's Tropical Storm Brett, and Tropical Storm Cindy, and Hurricane Dawn. Hurricane Dawn was just off the northeast of Bermuda. Okay, that happened on July 24th. That's pretty early for the season. Then we had Tropical Storm Gert. I didn't even have a Tropical Storm Gert. Then Tropical Storm Emily. Now we have Tropical Storm Franklin. Okay, so it's Hurricane Dawn off the coast of Bermuda. I remember we talked about it on the LimeVibe live podcast as well. Dawn didn't really hit many of the islands. Dawn didn't hit any of the islands, actually. No one was really hurt. It was just that it formed into a hurricane off the northeast of Bermuda. Okay, so yes, the second hurricane. So now we're in Franklin now. So yes, it's going to go downhill from it. So we just got to keep our eyes open and just keep watching for these hurricane advisories and hurricane warnings. I forgot to ask how you guys are doing tonight, man. I hope you guys are okay. I know I promised to put like a conversation link where you guys can call in, right? I know people are just listening. They probably want to call in as well. I'm going to get that fixed soon. I'm using Zoom, and Zoom, while it has its benefits, it has its weaknesses as well. I can't really put a link up like that. It's not so easy as what people would think it is, but I'm going to get it fixed and sorted out. So bear with us, please. I'm going to allow people to dial in and have a chat with us on a LimeVibe live podcast. So yeah, I'm going to have that open for you guys soon. I know I keep talking, right? I'm a talker. I guess keep talking about these things. I'm going to get it done. Bear with me. Yeah, so that's Hurricane. That's Hurricane Franklin, Tropical Storm Franklin, actually. Did you guys see that the Caribbean Airline Pilots Association, the Trinidad and Tobago Airlines Pilots Association, they've been negotiating with Caribbean Airlines, and they've had a mass sick out today, and they've grounded a lot of the planes. They couldn't fly any of the planes today because a lot of the guys had sicked out today, called in sick, and they're undergoing negotiations right now for a new industrial agreement. And so, yeah, this is pretty stiff. So anyone who had flights on Caribbean Airlines, you were disrupted. I feel sorry for you. Hopefully they rerouted you to somewhere else. So I'm reading the Jamaica Gleaner right now. It says an injunction was granted, however, on this sick out, that the court ordered these pilots back to work. If they aren't sick, they ordered them back to work. So the injunction was granted against the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association, preventing its president, executive members, as well as their servants or agents from taking or continuing to take and or participating howsoever in industrial action within the meaning of the Industrial Relations Act, including a sick out en masse. So the court told these people to get back to work. So hopefully your flights will resume by tomorrow. If the Trinidad and Tobago Pilots Association, they respect the court's order, which they should. Get back in there. You're an essential service, man. People need to go where they need to go. That's an essential service. And I guess that point was made, that hurry up with these negotiations with Caribbean Airlines. Caribbean Airlines should hurry up with these negotiations. So, yeah, this happens all the time, though. I mean, when they're going through these negotiations, people call in sick. They have mass sick outs. They do all sorts of things. They should be lucky that they didn't actually do anything that's going to damage the planes. So just negotiate with the people in fairness, please, and resolve these matters quickly as possible. That would be great, Caribbean Airlines. Can't leave these people out. You know better than that. Oh, another big story in the region. Apparently, this Bernardo Arevalo from the Progressive Movimiento Semilla Party in Guatemala and won the presidential elections on Sunday in Guatemala. And he was a dark horse. He snuck in from the back, and he overtook all the other candidates, and he ran on an anti-corruption campaign. You know, I guess that rings a bell in Central American politics, Guatemalan politics, right? And he beat out the former First Lady Sandra Torres, who the media had loved. The media had loved her, and they were projecting her to be the actual president. They were projecting her to win, but Aravelo just swept in, and took the race by storm. And he was a dark horse, really, that he wasn't even expected to place when he first came into the race. And they downplayed him so much, but he just swept them with one. That's why you can't listen to media reports all the time and these pollsters all the time when it comes down to these elections, because they have their own favorites who they want to win. And that's not necessarily who the people want. Apparently, the people want the anti-corruption candidate, Bernardo Aravelo. They wanted the anti-corruption candidate, you know, and that's good. You know, I wish Guatemala all the best with a new president, you know. I wish Mr. Aravelo the best. And he won 58.1% of the vote compared to Torres' 37.24% of the vote. That's a beatdown. You know, that means he kicked her thoroughly. He won handily. You know, there was no playing. There wasn't even close. That's not a close vote. That's not a close vote. He stunned her. You know, he beat her. And this is after his election headquarters, his campaign headquarters was raided by the police about 3 weeks ago before the election. You know, so I guess all of that fueled their anger to come and support Mr. Aravelo in this election. You know, I knew I was going to backfire on whoever started it. You know, they think that by intimidation people are going to back down. No, you actually build sympathy with Mr. Aravelo, and people felt that he had something going on, especially if they saw the state itself as being corrupt or inept or filled with bad actors. By the police coming down on him, he actually built up sympathy with the voter going into the election. You know, so Sandra Torres, that's the worst thing that happened for Sandra Torres, even if she had a chance. But I never really believed she had a runaway with this anyway. Even though I was watching the news reports, I always felt that they were just going overboard with her as they normally would in this season of women's empowerment. They were going overboard with it. And I knew that the Guatemalan people were going to select the right person, whether it was her or Mr. Aravelo, you know. But they were just downplaying Mr. Aravelo too much, man. They were saying he was a dark horse. He was like this last-minute candidate who was very unorganized and he had swept up out of the back out of nowhere. And they just were downplaying his efforts. Meanwhile, he probably was the strongest candidate in that field. And it shows you now he's not a president of Guatemala, you know. And the OAS observed the Guatemalan elections, and they reported no irregularities, just a free and fair election, a full-fledged beatdown by Aravelo on Sandra Torres, you know. So we wish him all the best. And like I said, he's an anti-corruption candidate, and he's promising to root out corruption across the board in Guatemala. I hope he doesn't go as far as Nayib Bukele in El Salvador with going down these gangs and arresting everybody with a tattoo. Let's hope he actually has some real structural reforms to Guatemala. It really puts it on a stronger footing moving forward. You know, I hope that's the best for Guatemala. You know, I hope that they get that done and they sort that really, really quickly and swiftly, man. Yeah. But Central American politics is really a blood sport, really, when you really look at it, you know. These people, they go for blood. They arrest you. They raid your offices. They assassinate you. You know, Latin American politics is a blood sport, man. They play for keys. Not like I play politics here in the Caribbean. The closest thing we can have to violent elections what we have in Haiti, and also what we had with Jamaica back in the late 70s and early 80s, when it was real politics, man. When things got really, really bad, and the gangs in Jamaica really took over those election campaigns, you know. And they had the United States, you know, battling a Cold War in Jamaica. You know, so that's the closest we've gotten to any kind of real serious disruption in Caribbean elections. But you know, like I say, Central American politics is a blood sport, man. Just recently, the Ecuadorian president, even though it's not Central America, the Ecuadorian presidential candidate was assassinated. Let me find his name for you 1 second. Ecuador president. Show candidate. Let's see who he is. The assassination of Fernando Villavicencio. Villavicencio, sorry. Fernando Villavicencio. Sorry for butchering his name. He was assassinated on August 9th, 11 days before the Ecuadorian general election, cold-blooded assassination. Like I said, politics in Central America cuts deep, man. It's really real serious business, man. Like I said, even Bernardo Aravela's election campaign headquarters was raided by the police. They want him out there. And even so, the former president of Panama, who's coming back for Panamanian elections next year, he's been arrested and sentenced to 10 years in jail for corruption. So yeah, when they want you out, they really go for you, man. It's real serious in Central America. So we just gotta pray that doesn't turn into more bloodshed like how we saw with the Ecuadorian presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio. So we just hope that they keep it at a peaceful level in the next several elections moving forward in Central America. So let's hope that they keep the peace. Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of congratulations tonight. Sha'Carri Richardson winning the 100 meters in the World Athletics Championships against Shericka Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, running a 10.65, topping the world record. Then we also have congratulations to Bernardo Aravela in Guatemala for winning the presidential elections in Guatemala, in that country. So yeah, a lot of congratulations, man. No congratulations to the Trinidad Pilots Association for calling that sick out against Caribbean Airlines. Those people need to get around, man. Get back to work. We don't like strikes and sick outs, man. It disrupts services. But I understand that you need your own industrial agreement sorted out, and that's fine. But get back to work so we can fly. So you know exactly what people are up against when it comes down to their travel. Okay. In a bit of lighter news, though, I don't know if you guys are really following this Keke Palmer situation with her boyfriend, Darius Jackson. This guy, he was acting like a real, he was acting like a real man would, I would say, when he called out Keke Palmer for dressing and so provocatively at an Usher concert. Said, why don't you put on some more clothes, and having Usher sing to her in that way. It was a bit jealous, it was a bit over the top, but I think he could have handled that privately between her and him, or having to call her out on social media. But his reaction was genuine. That's any man would ask that kind of question. But my thing is, Mr. Jackson, Darius Jackson, the father of a child, why didn't you talk to her before she actually left the house in that dress? That was being very weak. If that was your real girl, you were really upset, you should have made your presence felt before she left the house with that to go see an Usher concert. And she's at an Usher concert, man. What do you think she was going to do? Just have sex with Usher right there in front of everybody? Come on, man. Get serious, man. You could not have thought that was going to happen. And I gotta say, for Keke Palmer, she's supposed to be this hotshot Hollywood actress and Hollywood star. She's dating her fitness trainer. That's kind of like low stomach. You're a fitness trainer. You like ratchet bad boys. He's a pretty boy too. Bright skin, red skin, mango skin. Nice smile, tall. That's what she wanted. Okay, that's fine. She's lusting after him. Nice looking. Yeah. Her fitness instructor. That's where you gotta stop your girl from going to these fitness gurus, man. These fitness instructors, they go out of hand, man. I watched a video the other day from the Angry Man podcast. He has these snippets on his YouTube page, and he had this huge girl doing the amazing splits, spread eagle splits, legs open like this, and the trainer in between her pressing down on her legs, stretching out even more. And that was just so incredibly gross, man. I was like, why would you let your personal trainer get that close to you? And she's there laughing and giggling as her legs are spread eagle like this to the world. I found it embarrassing, man. See, you have to be careful when your girl goes to these, they go to these trainers, man. These trainers are nailing some of these girls, man. They're nailing some of these girls. I know so. I see it sometimes as well. I heard about all the stories and your girl got taken by a fitness instructor. That's what happened to Tom Brady as well with Gisele Bündchen. Tom Brady was shocked when he found out Gisele Bündchen, she was seeing her fitness instructor after she divorced him. And come to find, they probably were seeing each other before they even broke up, before he even filed for divorce from Gisele Bündchen. So yeah, you got to be careful with these fitness trainers, man. They'll take your girl, because all that closeness. And like I said, Keke Palmer was slumming, man. What do you expect from a hot-blooded guy, a regular guy who don't know that these starlets act like that? He's a regular guy. He's saying that's his girlfriend. He doesn't realize that he's only eye candy. He should just make the baby and be nice when she goes out and shut up. Play your role, dude. You're a fitness instructor. She makes money in that house. Shut your mouth. You don't have nothing to say about her going out like that, especially after she already left the house. That's supposed to be something you talk to her in the house before she actually leaves. That's why that's fake. But then came to find out, right, that they were trying to spin off a lot of different stuff after this this impasse, I would say. You know, I think Kiki Palmer announced her song. She made a song afterwards called Bottoms Up 2.0. And she had a lot of other things that she announced after. I can't even remember all the stuff, you know, but it's so irrelevant, but it's so unimportant to the whole scheme of things. So you got to be careful. These things are just an act to get us involved. And I'll tell you something, you know, I will tell you something. I don't believe half of these actresses and actors and they're in these relationships. I don't believe they're real. I believe it's all fantasy. I believe they're gaming us. You know, what wrestling would call kayfabe. It's kayfabe. It's meant to make you believe that it's real, but it's not really real. I think all these relationships are fakes, and all these scenarios are just fake things that just keep us interested and they keep us watching them back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and like we're talking about now, at least I'm talking about it now, trying to find content. Yeah, but apparently they're not broken up though. You know, after rumors had came up that they had broken up, apparently she dismissed rumors, say they're still friends and things are as quote unquote business as usual. That's show you right there. They're mocking you right in your face. It's business as usual. You know, it's no relationship. They're scamming you guys into buying more of their content and they're talking about them and keeping them relevant. That's what they're doing. And they're doing a good job at it. And media stars, Hollywood actresses and singers, they've been doing this for years, keeping us interested in their relationship. These revolving door relationships. Look at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. They've been back and forth in this carousel relationship for years, just keeping us wrapped up in their story. Just watching them every day. That's all it is. It's fake. It's fake stuff. It's fake stuff. It has to be fake. There's no way you could jump from one person like that to the next person so easily. Relationships really don't go like that, man. Relationships don't go like that at all. You know? So why would we believe that this happens? That does not happen. You know? That you in love with somebody, then you in love with somebody tomorrow. That doesn't happen, man. That doesn't happen. Not like the way these Hollywood stars are making out. And they're setting a bad example for the young people because the young people are watching these people and they think that this is real. But this is not real. This is fake. This is fake stuff, man. This is fake. That's my rant for the night. It's fake news. So speaking of fake news, Donald Trump, he has until Friday and his 11 other accomplices in the Georgia election fraud case. The Georgia election indictment actually has until Friday to turn himself into Georgia officials. And so everyone's expecting Trump to turn himself in by Thursday, and the rest of the people to turn himself in by either tomorrow or Wednesday, earlier ahead of Trump. But he's expected to come in by Thursday afternoon, the day before he actually goes to court. And they'll actually, you know, run him through the gambit. They'll take a mugshot of him. They'll treat him like a regular person who's facing the justice system in the United States. You know, they're really trying to eliminate Donald Trump before this election, this presidential election in the next couple of years. So they're doing a good job. But I don't know, but I was watching the polls today. I was watching these polls. CNN had it up. And I said be careful of these polls, right? But CNN had this up. And so I guess we got to talk about it. Say Donald Trump is beating everybody in Iowa, every Republican presidential nominee or candidate. He's beating them by widest margin. I think he's polling at 54%. And the next closest person is Ron DeSantis. He's at 20-something%. And Senator Tim Scott, he's at probably like 7-8%. So Trump is running away with it, even through all these scandals. Can you imagine if he didn't have these scandals? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I believe that all of these scandals are just fueling people to even believe in Trump even more because they believe in this deep state. They really believe in this, and they're coming after Trump. They don't see the January 6th for what it is. And they don't see the election fraud case for what it is. They think that the state is coming after Donald Trump. They believe what Donald Trump is saying. And I don't think that the Democrats understand that people are turning to Trump even more so when the state has been coming down with these cases. But they're going to find out, though. But I guess he can't be the president if he's actually in jail. He's actually indicted. He's actually convicted. You know, he can't be that. You know, he definitely can't run for election after that. And I don't think an indictment is going to stop Donald Trump at all. Absolutely not. It's not stopping him now, is it? You're going to have to lock him up and actually charge him and convict him, which may happen. I think I like I said the last podcast. I think you have to be very careful with that because he may spill all the beans that you've been hiding in the Washington deep state. Gotta be careful of that, man. Yeah. That's enough of Donald Trump, though. We just gotta keep up with that and just watch that, because America's right at our doorstep. That's our closest neighbor. We just gotta keep our eye on that, you know. Ron DeSantis is still in the race. He's our Florida governor. He's my man on the trigger, you know. I think he could do it. He could beat Biden in the election if they give him a chance. I think he could do it. Otherwise, let me stay out of American politics, because that's not my lane. This is LimeVibe. But you know, we talk about everything on LimeVibe, you know. This isn't just about Caribbean issues and Central American issues per se. We talk about everything here. Everything's on the table. We talk about Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer. Yeah. We talked about Sha'Carri Richardson, even though she's an American, but she beat those Jamaican ladies out. Sha'Carri Richardson, she beat out Shericka Jackson and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. You know, I've been trying to talk to Shelly Ann Fraser-Price on Twitter. I didn't realize back when I first started using Twitter that people really don't respond to Twitter messages like that. That's just there for them. And most of these celebrities and these people, these high stars, they don't even use their own Twitter all the time. So I'm there sending messages to Shelly Ann Fraser by thinking trying to make it seem like, who am I? You know, like I'm somebody who she should respond to. Some random guy on Twitter that she should respond to. But anyway, we'll see. You know, you can't blame a guy for trying. So, yeah. Otherwise than that, man, that's mostly what's been happening in the region tonight. Like I said, watch out for Hurricane Franklin. Tropical Storm Franklin is going to go over to the Dominican Republic by Tuesday. We just got to keep on looking at it, man. We just got to keep on watching out for that. Otherwise than that, that's a wrap here. I'll tell you something right now. You know, I'm hoping for a good week this week, man. Hoping for a good week. I could not find a particular car part today. You know, I need a gasket seal. A crankshaft seal. Sorry, I couldn't find a simple crankshaft seal at the bottom for nothing. And that's the pain of living on an island like this. You know, sometimes you run out. Like sometimes you run out of mayonnaise here on the island. How the hell you run out of mayonnaise, man? Sometimes you run out of mayonnaise. There's no mayonnaise on the island. That happens. You know, now if you don't have mayonnaise on the island, you know, that's the people think when they come in like, oh no, you're coming to the Bahamas and it's such a luscious paradise, but no, there's troubles here. There's hardships here like every other place. You know, yeah, we have beautiful beaches, yeah, but you still have to live here too, man. And you're gonna have to live with the rolling blackouts and all the crime and infestation like how you would have in any major city. People don't realize that New Providence, where I'm at, is a major city. You know. There's not some, you know, slow island, you know, paradise. You know, this is a city. This is like New York or Miami or Los Angeles, man. You know, there's about 300,000 people on this 21/7 island. Maybe even more than 300,000 people on this 21/7 island. You know, it's very, very dense. And people work here. And we have all the accoutrements of a regular city, you know, except for mayonnaise sometimes, you know. But I'm glad they got my at least a different version of my Keebler chocolate chip cookies. Right now, I've been feasting on these fudgy fudge cookies. I can eat a packet of them a night, man. You know, I'm just the hell with my diet and the hell with my exercise. You know, I'm eating a packet of them a night. And I'm gorging on them, man. They're beautiful. They taste lovely, man. They're wonderful. And I'm just sickening myself with that. You know, but I go back on the scale. I'm still under 200 pounds. I've broken my mark already. When I first started off really weighing myself, I was about 250 pounds. I really started to weigh myself on the scale every morning, showing people my weight loss journey and my fitness journey. And over the last several months, I've gotten down to 240, then it was 230, then it was 220, then it was 200, and then it was 195. All of a sudden, one morning, bam, I woke up, it was about 4 or 5 months later, 195. And I'm just hovering at 195, 200 pounds right now, which is really good. I haven't seen it since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm really proud of it. Maybe I should be a fitness influencer. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to go out in the morning for a jog as well. I'm going to go out damn near half naked tomorrow. So I'm going to have on my singlet so people can see my muscles pumping out. Have on my shorts as well, so the ladies can have a real look at what's going on. I'm starting to freak out now, you know. You know, I'm really enjoying how I feel, man. I've really made a transformation in my life, and things are looking better, man. That's why I like coming here and talking to you guys in a good spirit. I love talking because I feel good, and I'm happy to actually have this platform with you guys, and you guys are going to watch us to grow this as we move forward. Well, I forgot to tell you another story, man. Apparently, Royal Caribbean is going to move for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. They're going to move for their Royal Caribbean second cruise port on Paradise Island, the Bahamas. After much controversy, they've gotten their environmental impact assessment completed, and they submitted it. And so, yeah, they're moving forward their expansion of the Paradise Island, the western part of Paradise Island, which is good. I think that's going to be a good addition to Paradise Island, even though people are against it. The Atlantis Paradise Island, they're against Royal Caribbean coming on the island, but that's fine. You can't stop development. I think Royal Caribbean is going to be a good addition to Paradise Island. And Royal Caribbean is really they've come a long way. They've really stuck with the Bahamas despite all the back and forth, despite all the fighting and the fussing. They're really stuck with it. I'm just sorry that the competing project for that western part of the province, ran by Toby Smith, the Paradise Island Lighthouse Project, that's probably going to go under. And I feel sorry for that, because Toby Smith's a good friend of mine. I've known him over the past several months, reporting on this issue on Royal Caribbean, and reporting him in particular on Royal Caribbean and his project on Paradise Island. I just hope that he could find a similar project he could be compensated with and move forward and have a better time with it in the Bahamas. Because the previous government, they promised both Royal Caribbean and him the same property. But the court found that Royal Caribbean really had the rights to the property. So it's a long story, and I won't get into that tonight. But yeah, I guess I know that Royal Caribbean is coming to bring a new product to the Bahamas on Paradise Island. And that's going to be good. I wish them all the best for that. That's fine. Maybe I should play this. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this 100-meter dash tonight. You can see Shikari. Let's take a look at that, man. Let me share my screen. So you can see this. Share the screen. Watch around YouTube right here. I saw that right there. Yeah. I know Sha'Carri Richardson looks a little bigger around the thighs as well this year because she was a lot smaller 2 or 3 years ago, but now she's putting a lot more muscle. I hope they don't start talking things like how they smeared Florence Griffin Joyner or Marion Jones. I hope they don't bring up any of the steroid allegations. Because that was really, she finished strong to the end and she got stronger, man. While Sharika Jackson was starting to fade at the end, Sha'Carri Richardson got strong. You saw she got strong in lane 9. You saw she got much stronger. So, but let's, keep that above all the slander, but that was a good race though. Shocking. Yeah, I just wanted to play that for you tonight. I know they like to play stuff like that because I'm not sure about copyright issues, but that's on YouTube. It's all over YouTube, man. It's all over the place. And just want to congratulate Sha'Carri Richardson once again for winning the women's 100-meter final and the World Athletics 2023 in Budapest, Hungary. World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. I just want to big her up for that. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Otherwise than that, just keep that positive, man. And what a good night, man. If only if we could just materialize our dreams the way these women have done so, where Sha'Carri Richardson, she's bounced back. That's the kind of redemption story that we like to have, bouncing back from adversity. She was banned and she dropped out of racing because of her marijuana scandal, but now she's back on top. That's the kind of thing we like to hear. There's a redemption song, man. Redemption. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him, man. Yeah. But that's what life's about, bouncing back. Now we all have our own bounce back story, but we're seeing Sha'Carri Richardson full-fledged right now go through her bounce back story, her redemption song, her redemption moment. And that's always good to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing, man? I hope you guys have a good week, man. The week just started off. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you guys for a little while, and you were able to listen to what we have to talk about. But at least what I have to talk about. Kim won't be here on Wednesday night again either because she's really, really dealing with some issues herself, and so I'm going to be back on Wednesday night as well too. So hopefully you join me again on Wednesday, and we have some more stuff to talk about because the week has just started. Right now they're having some kind of conference over here at some women's association meeting, a ministerial meeting here in the Bahamas as well. That's going on right now. And hopefully that kicks off properly. And they're also having the Caribbean Investment Forum in October. We spoke about that as well too. So let's keep our eyes open for that. Yeah. So as we get out of here, well, yeah, let's get out of here. It's 45 minutes worth of content I gave you guys. What else could I yap about tonight? What else is going on? I talked about the hurricane. Oh yeah, go and look at our YouTube and Facebook page. I did a wonderful interview with Joshua Ford. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Red Diamond Compost in Barbados. He's the guy that's turning sargassum seaweed into fertilizer. He's the only person out there that I've seen in the Caribbean doing something about this sargassum seaweed. So go and look at our interview with Joshua Ford. It's right there on our collection, on our video playlist, and watch the whole thing. It's a very good interview. We spoke to him at length. We talked about how Red Diamond Compost came to be his company and how he got involved with dealing with, sargassum seaweed. It was a very good interview, man. He's turning that nasty sargassum seaweed into a mint. He's turning it into fertilizer for farmers. And, he's really making a go out of it, man. And now he also talked to us too about his new venture, this 1,000-acre initiative that he wants to take across the Caribbean, but he wants to get all the farmers involved in this 1,000-acre initiative where he teaches them how to farm and how to actually cultivate soil and how to actually use his fertilizers to yield better crops. Joshua Ford, he's an amazing man. You're going to hear a lot about him in agriculture moving forward and environmentalism moving forward. He's a young man. He's only 29, but he's making great strides against the sargassum seaweed. He's one of the million Caribbean people who we like to highlight on things like LimeVibe, on platforms like LimeVibe. We love to talk to people like him, and we like to keep up with people like him because he's doing a great job. While everyone's complaining about the sargassum seaweed, he's the only one out there actually doing something about it. He's turning it into fertilizer for farmers. He's turning that nasty seaweed that's washing up on Caribbean beaches, and he's turning it into fertilizer. He's using it to help the community. And that's something that's amazing. That's amazing, man. You can't win any better than that. That's just what we're supposed to do. That's what's called turning a negative into a positive. And I told him as much when I spoke to him yesterday when I interviewed. And yeah, so we'll watch the whole thing and you'll see exactly what he's talking about. And he also has other products as well. He has another product called Liquid Sunshine. There's another form of fertilizer, but it doesn't use gas and seaweed, but it uses other formulas and chemicals. And so he's really making good this agricultural thing. He's really interested in helping farmers. And there's a 1,000-acre initiative he plans to take around the Caribbean where he gets as much farmers enough pool into a cooperative where they all collectively have 1,000 acres where they can farm sustainably and have to feed their countries. This is amazing, man. He's an amazing individual. Joshua Ford, Red Diamond Compost. You know, and look at all of our interviews as well. You know, we do some good content, man. We talk to a lot of people from around the region. We're going to hopefully get some more people as we move forward. But yeah, we're building up. We're building up our cachet of interesting people. And these are the people you normally don't hear. You hear about, you know, the top flies. You hear about the politicians and the leaders. But you don't hear about the people on the ground who's actually making a difference, like Joshua Ford. You know, like Linda Edwards, who's living in the States, but she's an accomplished author. You know, like you know, all the other people who are on the ground in their respective Caribbean or Central American countries, making a difference and changing people's lives. These influencers, I call them. You know, and they are important, and we want to highlight them on LimeVibe. So yeah, that's it. But let's get out of here then. Let me get my music queued up. Just want to remind you that you should go and look at that latest story with Joshua Ford in Barbados. I really should slow down my speech though. I really shouldn't talk so quickly so I could stretch out the time more. But yeah, since Kim isn't here, and we always miss Kim. We always miss Kim. She's not here to bounce things off, but that's okay. I can do the show by myself. I don't mind. Let's share. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in for LimeVibe podcast. Please be with us again on Wednesday as we tune in one more time, as we talk about issues around the Caribbean and around Central America that's affecting people's lives. And it's actually things that people want to hear about. Okay. And if you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe 77. That's LimeVibe 77 on Facebook and YouTube. Please like and share and subscribe. It really helps us to get our message out there and to spread the message about what we're doing here in the Caribbean. And also, there's a donate link inside the description. So please, anything that moves your heart to donate to the LimeVibe podcast, please do so. We would appreciate your support very much. Thank you once again. We'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.